Hello, hope everyone's okay. Big shout out to everyone who subscribes, likes, shares, comments. I'm not going to ask you to hit that subscribe button, because if you hit that subscribe button, you get a notification and then I get a view. No, because if you like the content, you'll watch it. If you don't, go watch something else. Let's keep it simple. Right, now, we do these little videos. What are they for? I'm going to inform you. I'm going to share a bit of information, provide you with something that you might benefit from, because this is what it's about. It's about sharing, and sharing's caring, as they say. So my addiction, people have asked me about my addiction. I haven't really gone into detail much on personal videos like this, but someone asked me a question and, asked me would I go into a little bit more detail. Well, okay, I will. I'm almost 5 years clean. I'll be 5 years clean on the 23rd of September this year. Right, that's a miracle. 5 years ago, I was in the grip of addiction. I couldn't stop using. I was diagnosed with cancer. I was justifying an illness, and I hit the road running. My mum, lost all hope. My family were kind of disappointed. I lost my job, I lost my house, I lost my car. The girlfriend at the time that I was with, she left me. I had a cat. Don't know where that came from, but it left me also. Yeah, so I was a loser. I lost a lot of things. I also went back to prison. That's what happens to me when I pick up a drug, right? I'm in the grip of addiction, and I'm doing things that I don't want to do, and I'm going to places that I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm sneaky, I'm manipulative. My drugs are more important than you. I'll go through brick walls to get what I need, and then I'll feel crap about it afterwards. That's an illness, because if you look now, 5 years I've been clean almost. Not once have I been arrested. Not once has the police pulled me up and asked me any questions. Not once has my family felt horrified or disappointed at me when I've knocked at the door, because that's what it was like when I was using. When I knocked at that door, my mum wouldn't open it. I'd be like, kid would be shaking my hand through the letterbox. What do you want? See you later. Ta-ra, lad. Mum, I'll just hound her for money. Mum lends a fiver. I'd be going on with a tenner. Give us this, give us that, please. I was relentless. It was horrible. I became a monster. Yeah, and I did suffer all that shame, because when you get clean, it's not like, you get clean and all of a sudden people are going to have street parties and, balloons are popping and everyone's made up. It's like, whoa, hang on, he's clean. But how long for? We've heard this over and over again. So there's going to be a lot of suspicion and a lot of mistrust. So anyone out there who gets clean and all of a sudden think the family are going to be made up, yeah, initially there's going to be a honeymoon period. They're going to go, yeah, he's doing okay and we're made up, but, will it last? And it's time is a great healer. You just got to keep plodding on, day at a time. So you'll get to a point where you've got no desire to want to use, right? I've got no desire whatsoever to use drugs, alcohol, anything that'll change the way I feel, yeah? I've been around alcohol. I've got no thoughts or feelings or desires to use it, because I know where that takes me, yeah? It takes me to a dark place. It takes me to desperation, loneliness, separation. It takes me to get in a small world. It becomes really small. And I'm on my own. And I'm sad, and I'm crying, and I'm lost, and I'm playing a victim. Poor me. Woe be me. That's what it does to me, but it's what you do. It's coping skills, and it's when you get clean. It's easy to say to someone, oh, don't take drugs, and your life will get better. It might get worse. I know people who've got clean and their heads have just gone mentally, just lost it. They don't know how to cope with life. No, it's about coping with life on life's terms, not your terms. It's on life's terms. How you deal with resentments, how you deal with the loss of people that you love, how you deal with the rejection. There's a whole range of things that you've got to cope with. Now, for me, it was like the first time I got clean, I became really self-obsessed. I thought everyone was looking at me. I didn't know how to be. I didn't know what to wear. I was looking at what clothes you had on. I thought maybe that's what I should wear. I was looking at your hairstyle and thinking I'll have an hairdo like you. So I was like, I looked like the Fonz, right? In the early days, I had a big, mad, crazy leather jacket on. I had a quiff on me like an Irish cosy spoiler, right? I was shopping in Waitrose, right? On my benefits, thinking, right, I'm living the dream. Skint all the time. And I don't know, I had all these feelings of like, I was a hot-blooded male. I was horny and hungry and lustful, and you know, if you looked at me and you're a female in a meeting or on the street and smiled, that was it. It was a relationship in my head. You know, wedding bells were going off. You know, I was thinking of the kids we were going to have and the house we were going to live in, and you know, I was out there with all that thinking. Yeah, but I had to keep persevering, keep turning up, keep walking through the mud and the nails and the pain and the loss and the rejection and the bitterness. You know, stay clean a day at a time. That's what it's about, staying clean. Because, you know, as they say, once too many and 1,000's never enough. And that's true, right? Because I thought I only had a problem with class A's. Well, it wasn't, you know. It was, alcohol was a gateway drug. You know, I haven't got a problem with alcohol. Pick it up, my inhibitions are low. I'm out the door. I'm thinking maybe I'll get a little bit of Charlie and get swizzled. Okay, I can't cope with the Charlie feeling, so I might get a little bit of gear and come down off that. You know as well as me, I'm in the grip now. I'm in the grip. I was in the grip before I picked up, just to thinking about it and wanting to use and the motions of going there. So if there's anyone out there who thinks they can get away with it at the weekend, then all the best, you know, because last orders for me was never last orders. You know, the party never ended until I had nothing or I was in jail or a coma, you know, and I've been in those horrible places. You know, drugs have took me to prison all my life. It's robbed me mum of any peace of mind. It's created a lot of shame and embarrassment within the family. You know, I've destroyed communities. I've destroyed myself. I've destroyed any relationship I've ever had. You know, I used to say, yeah, I used to always keep a good woman until he escaped. You know, because I could never have a girlfriend. I always went to jail. I never had a bird to write to me. I never did. You know, it was definitely destined to end pretty quick. And, you know, I wasn't one of those lucky ones who go to jail and get loads of visits and loads of parcels. I was on my arse, right, proper. Right, never had no postal orders. Nothing. The only letters I got were off the solicitor. So yeah, it was a lonely way of life. You know, but today, you know, I've turned that right round because I knew something within me, you know, was worth more than that. I didn't want to devalue myself as a human being. You know, I went through all those experiences. I went through relationships that broke up. You know, we call them relationship breakups. We have relationship makeups. You know, we have relationship shake-ups. You know, but I've stayed clean through them. You know, I lost my dad, you know, while I was clean in recovery, and I stayed clean. I was diagnosed with cancer, and I justified the use of medication as a reason to use drugs. You know, the doctor told me to take 2 every 4 hours. I took 4 every 2 hours. Then a strip, and then, you know, I wanted to use. If you want to use, you'll use, right? You'll manipulate yourself. You'll manipulate your family. It's cunning. You know, it's insidious. It's dark. It's desperate. I used to wake up and think I don't want to be here no more. You know, I couldn't face reality. You know, I was constantly ill, feeling poorly. I had the police looking for me all the time, gangs looking for me all the time. Yeah, you know, it was a horrible, you know, it's horrible. There's people out there that do struggle. And this is the reason why I'm doing this video, because in the 5 years I've been clean, you know, my whole life turned around because I've turned up for life. I had a mate who said to me, Bill, you either get busy living or you get busy dying. And that's all I've done. I've got busy living. We've got one life, live it, right? This is what it's about. Because, you You know, I've learned a few lessons recently. I've been around people who've been toxic and gossiping and, you know, breathing out negative vibes, and it's kind of affected me. It's had an impact, and I felt obligated because of like a misguided friendship that I thought I had, and you know, some kind of misguided loyalty. And the reality of it is, it's remove yourself from certain situations, people, places, and things. People that are quite dark and bad energy for you. Move on, right? Look at the light and the positive. I'm not spiritual or gonna start preaching anything about God, because you know, never really it's never really been my cup of tea. But yeah, it's just grateful for what I've got. I've got a loving family. I've got a partner, Michelle, and my kids, you know, who love me and who'd miss me if I was gone. Because I tell you what, like, the only people that were looking for me or missed me were the police. That's what. The only people who only wanted to talk to me with those was Jacks in cells. That was it, you know. I've done all the prison rooftop protests. I remember climbing on Walton prison roof. You know, in my mind, it was like I wanted help, but it was a negative way of asking for help. I climbed on the roof, got up there. I remember the screw, Mr. Muscle, saying, you know, come down, or we'll turn your telly off. And, you know, I was like, are you having a laugh, mate? The minute I got on that roof, I wanted to get off. I wanted to jump down. No, halfway up, I fell off. It turned into something like a North Sea rescue halfway up the up the rope, because I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up physically. I was drained. The lads were pulling me up. I'm going, oh, get him up. He's going to make a show of us. I got up. I was up there for 14 hours protesting over nothing. I was blaming the chips in the shavy. I was blaming the fact that we only got one pair of socks a week. We needed more showers. I was like a rebel without a cause. And it was just a load of bollocks. It was. And it didn't wash with anyone. And I came down 14 hours later on a cherry picker. I remember Paddy Porter. All right, Paddy, hope you're out there, mate, and you're doing well, mate. He was up there with us, and Paddy had a little lump of weed, and we were in the sun, right, booming. It was the hottest day of the year. Pair of shorts on, throwing all that coconut oil over us, burning up. Ended up with heat stroke. Come down on a cherry picker with a crash helmet. After a few spliffs, by the way. Now, I wouldn't suggest chonging, you know, a few spliffs while you're rattling or you're withdrawing from heroin. It's not. It's horrible. Trust me. Anyone who's done it, oh, I had diarrhea a lot. I was taken to a strip cell, and then I was beaten up a little bit down a block, nothing that I wasn't used to. Then taken to Armley and Leeds and put on an 8-man unlock for about 8 months on a GOAD, which is a good order and discipline. I felt like an hard case, you know, when the door opened and all these screws were standing there. But in reality, when that door shut, I was scared. I was crying to me mum. I needed help. And I did. I asked for help in the end. But you've got to ask for it. No one's going to go and turn up at your door. You won't get help unless you're willing to go, right, I'm going to surrender. And when, like, someone said to me, surrender, like, I was watching a movie, like, no retreat, no surrender, all that stuff. We don't surrender, we don't give up. Yeah, sometimes, right, we've got to throw the towel in to win. We've got to throw the towel in to win. And I have done. I've got a beautiful life. I've got a beautiful family. You know, we're blessed with a few short decades. Let's live it. You know, I'm looking at more positive stuff going forward in the future. I'm trying to be the best brother I can be, the best son. You know, my ma does not now, like, feel afraid to open the door. She phones me and she cases me for dollar if I've got it. Can you do this? Can you do that? And I do, because I want to give me mum a little bit of her soul back. You know, I want to give me mum her son, the one that she gave birth to, the one that she loved from day one. She marched from one prison to the next to make sure I was okay. She wrote to me on every sentence. She sent me money when she could, knowing that I'd be spending it on drugs, but she was there for me. She never gave up. She was in my corner. My mum, small in stature but mighty in spirit. Lovely woman, and I love you, mum. Yeah. So I give a bit back now. You know, I give a bit back to me community, because I've robbed from it for years. I've destroyed it. You know, I've seen these kids today, and I know, you know, knife crime is rife. So I'm involved in an organisation that raises awareness for these kids, trying to fight for their future, trying to fight for my kids' future. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah. But you know what? If there's any questions that you'd like to ask me, please do, and I'll answer them. Anything personal, then you can jog on. I'm not up for anything negative, but yeah, I appreciate you watching this video. Thanks. Take care and lots of love.